welcome back to my channel, Mental Health with Melissa. If you're new here, I'm Melissa. I post new videos every single Sunday and Wednesday, and subscribing to my channel helps me get mental health information out to our communities of color and tons of free LCSW test prep. I have a new LCSW test prep program available for purchase. The information can be found down below. It's a social work study with Melissa test prep for those of you that are studying to become LCSWs, and I have reached 1,000 subscribers, and I'm so happy about that. And I really thank those of you that have supported this channel's growth and do watch my videos. And so to give back, I have a giveaway that I have listed more information about in the description box below. But basically there'll be 10 winners. One winner will receive the social work study program for free, and it's $199, so it will be completely free to that one winner. And then 9 other winners are going to receive it at a very discounted rate, but check the description box below for specific details about the discounted rates. So let's go ahead and get into the content of this video. This is part 2. So make sure that you take a look at the first part of this video. Before we do get into it, again, I just want to thank you for subscribing, and if you haven't, please do so, because the algorithms of YouTube really helps get more of my information out there to other viewers when you do so. All right, so take a look at this first part of mandated reporting versus duty to warn. I will go ahead and link the first part of this video in the description box, but make sure you take a look at this first and then come back and we're going to go over the LCSW test prep vignette questions right now. Okay, let's take a look at the first question. A hospital social worker meets with a 72-year-old patient who has been cleared stable for discharge to a nursing home for physical therapy. The medical team states the patient cannot care for himself at this time. The patient refuses to go to the nursing home, leaves the hospital against medical advice, and takes the bus back home. The social worker in this case, so I forgot to say this, but make sure that you pause and read the vignette and answer it for yourself first, and then compare it to my answer so that you can kind of test your test taking skills right now. So let's go ahead and get through or go through the options. Option A, has the duty to warn to protect against self-neglect. So if you watch the previous video, if it has to do with adult protective services or child protective services, then that's a mandated reporter. So for that reason, it's not going to be the verbiage of duty to warn. And so because of that, we'll go ahead and do the elimination process and cross out option D, has the duty to warn to protect against abuse, because there isn't abuse going on. This is self-neglect. So is a mandated reporter to APS for abuse? So again, like I had just mentioned, this is not abuse, it's self-neglect. So is a mandated reporter to APS, so this is Adult Protective Services for self-neglect. So a mandated reporter, like we talked about in the last video, is somebody that is mandated by law to report neglect or abuse of our vulnerable populations to the appropriate authorities, such as Child Protective Services or Adult Protective Services. So for Adult Protective Services, somebody that constitutes as an adult is anybody that's 65 years and older, or somebody that has an impairment or disability that makes them reliant on somebody else for their care. So this is kind of twofold, because this patient is 72 years old, so he meets criteria as an adult in that capacity, but also the medical team is specifically saying that he can't care for himself at this time, so he is a dependent adult. Yet he was able to somehow leave. Maybe he used a wheelchair or something. We don't know the details, but he left against medical advice and is going back home. So he is kind of in this area of self-neglect. So he's neglecting kind of what has been recommended. So the correct answer is going to be option C, is a mandated This is a mistake, sorry, is a mandated reporter to APS for self-neglect. Okay, let's look at the second question. A client meets with her therapist and tells her that she is very upset about her sister's abusive husband. The client details an elaborate plan to kill him on Wednesday. The social worker in this case, option A, has the duty to warn to protect against suicidal ideation or self-harm. So what we see here is that this is describing the duty to warn, because the duty to warn, from what we learned in our last video, is the therapist's obligation by law to warn the intended victim. So there is the duty to warn. However, this is not suicidal ideation or self-harm. This person is having homicidal ideation. So is a mandated reporter to protect the client's sister. So this is not a mandated reporter sort of situation that's going on. This is, again, duty to warn. Let's jump to option D. Is a mandated reporter to protect the sister and sister's husband's children to CPS or Child Protective Services. There's nothing in here about any kids, so this is just really not an appropriate answer. So has the duty to warn the client's sister's husband about the client's plan. This is going to be the option, or this is going to be the answer, because the client has provided very specific details and intent, and a date of when she plans to carry out this plan. So confidentiality has to be broken. The therapist has the duty to warn and protect the sister's husband. And so option C is going to be your answer. Tell me how you guys did on this video. Let me know if you got the questions right or wrong. Were they more challenging? Were they fairly easy? I want to kind of get a better understanding of what these vignettes are like for you, if whether you did watch the first part of this video or you didn't. So leave down in the comment section below. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching. And again, feel free to comment in the comment section if you have any video requests or you'd like more information on a particular LCSW exam area that you want to get more like vignettes on, or just a topic in general. Let me know. Until next time, managing mental health matters.